G'day guys and welcome back to Ados the Great YouTube channel. So guys, in today's video I'm going to be giving you 3 trade ideas for the Minnesota Timberwolves, or at least 3 players that I think the Timberwolves should go after. Now, the big question is, am I a Timberwolves fan? Yes, I am. I am a Timberwolves fan from Brisbane, Australia. Absolutely love the T-Wolves. Have been following them only fairly recently. I only got into NBA about 2013. So, so I haven't been a Timberwolves fan for that long, but my jersey collection is growing a fair bit. I think in the time I've put together about 10 different jerseys. So, yes, very much a Timberwolves fan. And I just, sort of wanted to do a video of 3 trade ideas that I think could definitely help the Timberwolves, or at least, take them to that next level and give them a bit more, depth for the bench. So, starting off with, I've got Marcus Smart. Obviously, Marcus is an amazing defender. He can do a lot more than defense, though, but predominantly he is a defender. He's made 2 all-defensive teams in his career, and he was also an all-rookie team in 2014 and 15. Yes, I do have hoops reference here, but that is pretty much for the stats. So for stats wise, Marcus Smart is actually averaging a career high in everything, I believe, or he's averaging more than normal, basically. So in this season, he's averaging 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists, which actually isn't too bad, and I would take that on our bench. I think he can definitely be a bench piece for us. I wouldn't have him starting unless Pat Bev or D. Russ are injured. I think he definitely could be a good 6-man for us, and that's why my trade offer would be probably Malik Beasley and a first. If that doesn't get it done, maybe a second to sweeten the deal. But with how well Malik's starting to look now, I think it's definitely a possibility. So I think we bring over Marcus. Yes, we lose a bit of shooting from Malik if we traded him, but I still think that would be a good trade for us. Defensively, it would probably make us one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. We've got a pretty good defensive lineup this year. It's probably the best it's been for a very long time. I don't exactly know the stats on that, but with like Pat Bev and how he's sort of inspired the team, I guess Vando's playing amazing. Let's talk about probably 6 players that I would be, there's at least 3 players that I'd be very hesitant on trading, if not off limits, and that is Cat, Vando, and D. Russ. So I probably wouldn't trade those players unless an amazing trade came up. Karl Anthony Towns is pretty much an untouchable for me. There is one player on the Timberwolves that I think is completely off limits, and that is Anthony Edwards. Why do I think that? Now, if someone, it's obviously not going to happen, but they could throw Giannis at us. Definitely not going to happen, but I'd still not trade Ant. I think the Timberwolves need to build around Ant, make this his team. I know Cat probably wants to be that first option, but I see him as a future second option to Anthony Edwards. So, yes, I think Anthony Edwards is the player we need to build our team around. I'd be, unless we got an amazing deal for Karl Anthony Towns, I'm still pretty hesitant on trading him. I'd rather not trade D'Angelo Russell because clutch time, he's brilliant. Vando, I don't want to trade Vando. Defensively, he's a beast. He's so active. He's energetic. He's everywhere. He gets steals. He gets blocks. He gets stops. And yes, I'm definitely would rather not trade Jared Vanderbilt. The other 2 players I'd be very hesitant to trade are obviously Patrick Beverley and Jaden McDaniels. Both these players add a lot of defensive prowess, I guess. I don't know if I use that word correctly, to be honest. I'm an Aussie. We butcher stuff all the time. But yes, I think they add a lot to the defense for sure. And pretty much everyone else I'd be happy to look at trades for. There's probably at least 2 to 4 players I'd like to see traded. Jordan McLaughlin, Josh Okogie, and Jake Lehman, definitely three players I'd like to see traded somehow. And Torian Prince is another player. He's on a big contract, but I wouldn't mind to see if we can flip him maybe. He's playing pretty good at the moment, so we could use that. His trade value's going up, so we could use that trade value possibly to add another player. But so the first trade I've got is Marcus Smart from Malik Beasley, and probably just a first. I think that gets it done, but I definitely think that helps our bench a lot. Malik, while he is shooting amazingly, in some games he'll knock down 6 from 3, and then the next game he'll go 1 from freaking 14. So he's just not consistent, and we need that. I think I'd prefer to have the defense than the offense, and bring in Marcus Smart and say goodbye to Malik. I think if another fresh start for him could definitely be good for him. Moving forward to our next trade, I'd like to trade for Thaddeus Young. Now, I believe it was 2014-15 when we last had Thaddeus Young, or 2013-14. Let me get Thaddeus Young up here, eh? All right, there we go. So when did we have Thaddeus Young? Minnesota was 2014 and 15, and then we traded him to Brooklyn. So yes, Thaddeus Young, I think, definitely could help this team out as well. He hasn't been playing as good as normal this year, although his assists are up, which is good. But this year he's averaging 6 points, 4 rebounds, and 2. Crikey, sorry about that, guys. Promise it's not Rona. So averaging 6 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists a game. Not bad, but I definitely think he could add depth to our roster. And I don't think it would cost too much to move him. Maybe if we could trade Josh Okogie, possibly a future second. I don't know. I'd probably rather try not to give up picks. But maybe if we can move Okogie for him, Jordan McLaughlin, something like that to get him into our lineup, that would be very nice. So yes, Thaddeus Young would be the next player I think could help us. 100% we need more size on the bench. He is 6'8", so he's not the tallest, but I definitely think he can still help us for sure. Just checking, he hasn't shot any threes at all this year apparently. He shot 0.2 attempts, and he hasn't made any. So yeah, 3 points not the best, but I do think he can help us a lot with the depth of the team. Moving forward from the Thaddeus Young trade, the last trade is for Terrence Ross. So let's see what Terrence is doing. Terrence Ross is somebody that I think could be brilliant for us off the bench. He is a shooting guard, small forward sort of role, so similar to Beasley, but at 6'6". I just think we could utilize him a bit more than we did Beasley. He brings a little bit of defense as well, which is pretty good. I like that. I think Terrence Ross definitely could help us. I think he's getting wasted over on Orlando, and I think he can definitely help us out a bit. So this year, he is only shooting 31% from 3, so not great. But I don't think he wants to be with the Magic, because they're obviously not starting. Well, we wouldn't start him either. But they're not really giving him that many minutes because they've got a lot of youngsters coming through. So I definitely think Terrence Ross could help the Timberwolves out a lot, and I would love for him to come over and join our team. I think he's another player we could get fairly cheap. Maybe we'd have to probably throw in a second round pick for him, and I don't know if we'd do the what's his salary looking like? Doesn't say. I don't know how much he's making, but I think we could get it done by probably trading someone like Jake Layman. We might have to put Torian Prince in there, but I think we could get it done trading Layman. Um, I don't know, possibly like Nathan Knight and a second rounder or something like that. I think Terrence Ross definitely does help our lineup though. So yeah, that's pretty much. Wow, I didn't know this. He was the first. He was picked for 8th in the 2012 draft. That's insane. Wow. Okay, I didn't know he was the first rounder. Yeah, so that's pretty much going to wrap it up. So yeah, guys, let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. I know a lot of Timberwolves fans probably will disagree with me. I just think these are 3 trades that could help. I will give some honorable mentions, though. These are some players that I would love on the team, but I just don't think we could, without giving up too much, I don't think we could get it done. JaVale McGee, would really like him on the team. I think he gives our bench, a lot more depth as a big man. Then we've got someone like Miles Turner. Without, giving up any of those 6 I spoke about before, we'd probably have to throw in Jaden McDaniels. Unfortunately, I wouldn't want to do that. If we could do something like Naz Reid, maybe Jalen Noel, and the first or something, that'd be brilliant if we could bring in Miles Turner, but I don't see that happening. Who else is there that I could name as an honorable mention? Obviously, Ben Simmons and Jeremy Grant out there, but I don't want to trade D'Angelo Russell or obviously Cat wouldn't get traded for that. It's way too much we'd be giving up for that. But yes, I don't really want to trade D'Lo or Vando or anyone like that. So yeah, I think Ben Simmons and Jeremy Grant are probably off the cards. We probably could maybe look at a Jaden McDaniels, Naz Reid sort of trade package for one of them, but I highly doubt the Sixers do it. So the Pistons may go, well, McDaniels and Reid are good, solid young players. We want to do that. Let's lock that in. But yes, I don't really know. I don't know what's going to happen. I just think if we can, out of anyone I've said in this video, my probably top pick would be Marcus Smart. I think he just adds so much defense. If we didn't have to give up Beasley or McDaniels for him, if we could trade like, I don't think it would happen, but if we could trade like Naz Reid or Torian Prince or something like that for Marcus Smart and keep Beasley, because he can be a knockdown shooter. He can be. I think that'd be a huge win for the Timberwolves, but I don't see that happening at all. So, yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for me, though, guys. I hope you did enjoy this one. Thank you all so much for watching. And as always, guys, I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.